facing class that goes over the course of 2 semesters, working with just different community organizations to identify solutions to different opportunities that their organizations are experiencing.
Okay, thank you. Our next question, and we'll start with Yusuf again. What are your partnerships with the Easton community, and how does the community help your work, and how does your work help the community?
So at the Dyer Center, we like to take a broader kind of Lehigh Valley approach to the work that we do in the community. So while there's certainly some Easton focused efforts, and maybe I'll quickly touch upon one of them, we do look to connect our students across the valley in projects that allow them to apply what they're learning in the classroom to problems that they're passionate about. So specifically with the city of Easton, or in the city of Easton, we work quite a bit with the Greater Easton Development Partnership, so led by Jarrett Mast, he's a class of 04, right, or around there. But so Jarrett has been involved with the Dyer Center really from the beginning, and he's certainly doing a lot of innovative things to support the city of Easton. And one initiative that we launched this past semester was a project with 5 Lafayette students called the Lafayette Easton Alliance. And this program was supported by a number of folks on campus, myself, our entrepreneur in residence, Marty Johnson, and yet a number of folks working on this initiative. And basically what the students tried to do is, first of all, they understood the interdependence between Lafayette College and the city of Easton. It's difficult to envision a situation where Lafayette prospers and thrives, but the city of Easton does not. So there really is this interdependence between the two entities. And so the students, recognizing the challenges of COVID and recognizing that small businesses structurally were ill-equipped to pivot to a new remote first reality, decided to intervene and do what they could to support local businesses. And essentially what this partnership, this alliance comes down to is they help represent the student perspective, or in marketing language, we might say the persona, right? So that persona of that customer base, the student at Lafayette College, how can these downtown retailers speak to them? How can they reach them? And the answer is certainly through social media, right? I mean, it's not as if Lafayette students are just wandering, down Main Street and connecting with the businesses. So they've launched a digital initiative and campaign to try to surface some of the unique products and services, and helping those retailers position those products and services in a way that would resonate with the campus community, so students, faculty, staff, parents, etc. So it's an interesting initiative. I know right now they're working on a back to school campaign. So for all of these students who are coming back to Lafayette, trying to highlight some unique products that they might find helpful for their transition back to campus that are sold by downtown retailers. So we're always looking for projects that give our students an opportunity to apply the critical thinking skills they've learned at Lafayette in a value creation capacity. And we view the city of Easton as a natural partner in that regard.
Yusuf, you mentioned the Greater Lehigh Valley. Can you give an example of maybe a project that you're doing with kind of outside of the Easton area that might be of interest?
Yeah, actually, maybe towards the end of the presentation, I have a, so we launched a program in Allentown called the Real Estate Lab, and I have a promotional video. It's like 3 minutes. One of our Lafayette students, one of our film and media students crafted that video, and I think that does a great job of really summarizing both the intent and the impact behind the program. So if it's okay with you, perhaps, towards the end, we'll circle back and I can show that 3-minute video and then maybe take questions on that program.
That sounds good. That's great. Chelsea, we'll go to you next.
Sure. So the Landis Center, we support initiatives and programs that exist in the community, and we also help create new programs and initiatives based on an express need of the community. So we have, in our last pre-pandemic semester, we had about 500 students visiting about 30 community partner sites every week. And so we had a range of initiatives that we look at. Education and access, aging populations, hunger and homelessness, community wellness, environmental health and sustainability, and community development. I would say that our strongest and most, our closest partner in Easton is the school district. So we have a number of programs within the school district and with the school district, and it's not just tutoring programs. We have mentoring programs. We try to provide touch points from grades 3 through grades 12 with the intent of just getting kids into the school. If they're not there, they can't learn. That was something that we learned from our community partners, just help them get the kids in the school. And as it turns out, interacting with college students is a pretty powerful incentive for kids from grades 3 through 12. We're actually working on quantifying that rather bold claim I just made. So in the next couple of years, we should be able to have some hard data to back that up in terms of attendance. And, hopefully we'll see the chronic absenteeism rates drop in Cheston and Paxenosa. We also partner, with other organizations. We partner with Safe Harbor, we partner with Third Street Alliance, we partner with Easton Main Street Initiative. And like I said, all of our programs are in response to an expressed community need. Like Yusuf, I have a video that I would like to show later. And it's a fundraising video that we created back in the spring, but what it really attests to is the understanding of our students about what community partners are and how important our community is to us and how we are important to the community. What I would say is that we couldn't obviously do what we do without Easton. Easton provides our students with opportunities to grow as engaged citizens. They allow us opportunities to give back to the community, to serve the public good, which is really what higher education is all about, right? Our students develop in civic knowledge and civic learning, and they learn how to reflect on their experiences in ways that they wouldn't be able to do without these experiences that they have in the community. And they also develop a sense of the ability to use their own unique strengths and their knowledge and their skills to make the world a better place, to give back to their communities or to give to their communities, right? So yeah, that's what we do here.
Hey, thank you, Chelsea. Melissa, do you want to add something?
So always being the third is tough, because then it's like what they think. But also, I think, thinking about our partnerships with the Easton community, and it's how the community is able to help us as an institution, which, Yusuf spoke about the vibrancy, as well as what is the work that we do within the community. And, I would say the work that happens out of Dyer and the Landis Center is very much everyone on the ground, really just helping to solve problems, to be part of solutions, and just to, get to know the city better and contribute to it. I would say really how the community helps us is really providing a vibrant place to live, work, learn, play, relax, and also retire in some cases. The city's just incredibly rich in history. We have the trail system, a strong community. There's so many local, small, independent businesses that are just attractive to everyone right now. And we're so fortunate to have that in Easton. And all of this really provides our students, our family, our faculty, staff, people that we're looking to employ, just this experience when they come to visit campus, or if they decide to be part of our campus community. So I think really that's just how the community helps our work at Lafayette, is that the strong community that we have, the vibrancy and just the good bones of Easton really provides a solid place that people want to come and want to be part of Lafayette. Because when they drive into the city, and I want to give a shout out to Diane here, who lives downtown, and she's part of the Friends of Easton program. So if you drive to the circle at night and you see the lights everywhere, that was resident driven, that was community driven. And we're fortunate to have an alum leading that. But that's happening, and that really just demonstrates to people like, this is a place I want to be. There's a lot of great work happening here, and it's awesome. I think just from the partnership place and how we're also able to partner with the community, part of my role within community relations is kind of thinking of institutional presence, both within Easton as well as we start thinking of Lafayette beyond Easton, as well as what does it mean being an institution of higher education in the Lehigh Valley. But I will attend council meetings, planning committee meetings that happen within the city of Easton, really to understand what's happening in the city, what are both from our government and municipality, what's being talked about, but also how are residents responding to that and what are residents bringing to those meetings with different concerns or different ideas. Because then this way, as an institution, that we're not just on the Hill, but as we're thinking about where we sit and different plans that we have, how can we be more prepared to see where that fits in to what the community is looking for from institutions like ours within Easton. Specifically also, we are very close with, and we've been building those relationships with something called the Village on College Hill and the College Hill Neighborhood Association. And just having the opportunity to engage with residents and to be able to have people that we can reach out to if there's something happening at the college, to be able to share through their newsletters and distribution lists. We really value the partnerships that we have with the Neighborhood Association and what's called the Village on College Hill, because it helps get the word out about, what's happening. We recently had a town hall. It's our fourth one in the past 2 years, where we invite community members and downtown businesses to hear what's happening with the college. This was specific to COVID. But just ways that we can keep our lines of communication open with our neighbors, with the downtown businesses, and let them know what's happening, because they're so used to seeing our students in different places, but institutionally, we haven't always kind of been out there with a voice trying to share information. And that's something that we've been really working on in the past few years. So those are just a few things. And I would say just also within my role, we also look at who are our nonprofit partners, and Yusuf mentioned GEDP, which is the Greater Easton Development Partnership, and they do amazing work. The college has been a longtime supporter, initially with the Easton Ambassador Program, which are the red coats for clean and safe. So we want to make sure that we're out there and we're supporting different organizations that are really contributing at that kind of clean and safe vibrancy that provides a welcoming atmosphere to our community. So whether it's Easton GEDP, when you think of the State Theater, the Carl Sterner Arch Trail, these are all places that there's a lot happening between the college and these organizations, as well as just really having people excited to be part of those different organizations and seeing them when they come into town.
Okay, great, thank you. And the next question, some of you have already hit on some of these points, but I'll ask it, and if you want to add anything in, then we can watch those videos. I'm excited to see those videos. What are some ways that the Lafayette alumni community can support you with your work? I know Yusuf and Chelsea already mentioned a few, but anything else that you want to add to that?
Well, we're always looking for learning opportunities for the students. So if there's challenges professionally, civically, that you're engaged in, and they really require our students to work independently. And I'm just speaking from the Dyer Center perspective. These are the type of projects we get behind and support. But the projects that require our students to take a sense of ownership regarding the project, the type of projects that are multifaceted and require teamwork, and the type of projects that force our students to wrestle with the ambiguity and uncertainty that is inherent in real world problems. Those are the types of challenges that the Dyer Center looks to support our students in solving. And so, if there's things you're interested in having a group of really motivated, really talented young folks work on, feel free to reach out to me.
Great. Chelsea, anything to add?
Yeah, I would like to kind of echo what Yusuf just said. Our students engage in, creative problem solving all the time, and maybe a little bit differently. We would like to see maybe some mentors for our students, from students who've done this before and have integrated it into their lives after graduation. So also we would like to see a family of Landis students. So, over the generations, engage with us on social media, come to our events, help us out on Lollapalooza and Make a Difference Day from wherever you are in the country or the world. Those are ways you can help support us. But if you do have the interest in becoming a mentor to a current Landis student, that would be fabulous.
Great. Melissa, anything?
I'm going to turn it a little bit, and beyond the college, what I would really just encourage our alumni community and parents and family members is supporting our downtown and our College Hill businesses. I would say the more that you can get down, the more you can eat, shop, visit, be part of the community. I mean, these are all economic drivers. I would say I'm a lifelong Lehigh Valley resident. I've worked in Bethlehem before. I'm very familiar with Allentown. And I think admittedly, I was married in Easton about 20 years ago when Easton was very different than what it is now. And just being downtown, Easton is a real grassroots, independent, locally owned place. I mean, I think Crayola is probably the largest presence down there in a way, but when you think of everything else around it, it's people in the neighborhood and people that live in the Lehigh Valley or people from Jersey that are coming in and they're investing in Easton. So I would say eat, play, shop, come down, be part of the vibrancy of the city. If you're involved locally in community organizations, just always remember you're a Lafayette alum and wear that hat. If there's different things that we should be aware of from a college of where we are or where we aren't, please reach out to me. There's other folks at the college, but we do take those things seriously because we want to be a strong, good community partner. And sometimes we just don't know things. So if you're hearing things, be in touch because it helps us to be more informed. It helps us to be proactive, also respond accordingly. But I would just, ask you beyond the student and the educational experience of just think of your alma mater and how you want us positioned and the reputation that we have. And you can help enhance that reputation by partnering with us and letting us know what's happening and what you're hearing. But also, I would really say just being part of our downtown, being part of the Hill and helping to continue to invest, whether it's real estate, food, drink, hair, retail, whatever you'd like.
Great. Thank you. Are we ready for those short videos?
Sure. I can share.
And then we'll open up to our group for questions then, to our audience.
And as you're sharing, I should say, and come to sporting events in the Williams Arts Center too. So give everybody else the props besides us. There's a lot to do on campus.
So let's see what we have here. 1 second. Here it is. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
The real estate lab is unique in that we focus on the identification, the connection, and the empowerment of talent that has historically and is otherwise overlooked. When many of our participants started, the idea of being an active participant in the real estate ecosystem in their cities was far-fetched. I've seen tremendous change in our participants, both in their knowledge of business and entrepreneurship, but also in the optimism in their belief that they have a role to play within these fields.
For me, for example, I don't have anyone to speak to about real estate. Just the conversations that I'm able to have with the instructors, John, Yusuf, and Matt, and with the other classmates, has been great. Just because I'm able to kind of like bounce ideas off them and hear what they're thinking and what they're struggling with.
It's just a reminder that I could do this. I think it's so easy to see the end results and how people got there, but you never really hear the stories, the struggles that they went through. Not enough people talk about like how to start, or like they're not willing to help, or you're not in such close proximity where you can ask those questions.
There is a substantial change that's going to come with the program. You know, we may not see it right now, but I think seeds are being sowed for greatness here. You know, an economic potential for all of us who are into this and are really vested into, you know, investing in the community and not being one of those landlords who treat their property like ATMs, but actually care for them and care for the people who are going to be vacating.
I know that what we've seen over the past several months in terms of the shift in their mindset presages what's going to come next. And that's going to be a group of individuals who will actively participate in the creation of quality and affordable housing that is so desperately needed, not only in the city of Allentown, but the entire Lehigh Valley and, quite frankly, the entire country.
Thank you, Yusuf.
I should have mentioned that program was co-created between the Dyer Center and Lafayette alum and trustee J.B. Riley at City Center. So we're really proud of that effort. Lafayette students, you know, play a significant role in the development of the work that we're doing there. So it's really a great effort between the college and the city of Allentown.
Great. Thank you, Yusuf. Chelsea, do you have something that
I do. So last spring, our students were equally still interested in participating in the community, even though we had now suddenly found ourselves in a very different environment. And so they launched a campus-wide fundraiser to raise funds for Second Harvest Food Bank and Family Connection of Easton. Our initial goal for this fundraiser was only $5,000. We ended up raising over $27,000 with the support of Lafayette students, faculty, staff, alum, the community. And part of the reason the fundraiser was so successful was because our students were able to articulate how much the campus community and the Easton community needed each other. So I just want to show the video that they created prior to launching the campaign that really underscores how much they understood about the community. I'm just going to share screen really quickly. Oh, somebody's sharing. Okay, there we go. Is that visible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit play.
This week, we are fundraising for two incredible organizations, one of which is Family Connection.
Family Connection is a nonprofit family center that provides many resources for the Easton Area School District.
They engage and support families with children in school by removing educational barriers for their children.
They specialize in building positive relationships among families, schools, and their communities. When a family is in need of things like academic support, clothing, housing, or food, Family Connection helps to alleviate these concerns.
Family Connection has profound impact on our Easton community, especially right now, because they are striving to feed the 5,000 children that depend on their school day for meals. This is lunch and sometimes breakfast as well.
Over 1,000 children and their families are served annually, and they are continuing to help families during this pandemic.
Help us give back to them.
Your donations will help support the operations of Family Connection, EISD's Family Center. 48% of students district-wide are eligible for free or reduced lunches. This is a direct indicator of the poverty. This percentage rises to 100% at certain high-need schools. Family Connection programs include case management, after-school programs, early education programs, basic needs support, and school-based food pantries.
The current and future state of the economy will only place a higher demand for the services that Family Connection provides to Easton families, which is why they are continuing to assist families even while school buildings are closed. By donating, you will be directly helping the Easton community and its schools.
Second Harvest is a nonprofit food bank serving those in the Lehigh Valley and Northeast Pennsylvania area. They also have over 200 food banks nationwide and partner with Feeding America. On average, they serve approximately 60,000 people every month in the Lehigh Valley area. But obviously, this number has increased under recent circumstances. Between 2018 and 2019, Second Harvest distributed 9.4 million pounds of food.
No one has been turned away due to the lack of food, which is really impressive. People of all ages receive food from this organization, with 2,475 seniors receiving a Sunshine Box each month and over 800 kids receiving a backpack of food each week. This organization has aided Easton tremendously in the fight against hunger.
For every $1 donated, Second Harvest can provide 6 meals. Due to COVID-19, many people have lost their jobs and are without a paycheck, so the need for Second Harvest services is higher and more urgent than ever. Second Harvest is working diligently to ensure that food distribution to the 11 food pantries they support in the Lehigh Valley area does not stop and gets to the people who need it most.
Unfortunately, COVID-19 has made it more difficult for them to get food and to distribute them. As the food price has increased, their supplies will soon shrink. They need monetary support to continue their mission during this crisis. You can help. Join the Greek and larger Lafayette community to donate to this great cause.
In times like these, philanthropic endeavors are crucial for the preservation and stability of our community. Philanthropy is serving, it is giving back, it is lending a hand. In short, philanthropy is taking action, and right now, our Lafayette community needs you to take action.
During this time of hardship and uncertainty, we want to support Family Connection of Easton and Second Harvest Food Bank by helping them provide meals for the members of our community most deeply impacted by the effects of the coronavirus. To help those most in need, all of Lafayette's Greek organizations are working together to raise money for these 2 amazing community partners.
This fundraiser spans 7 days from May 4th to May 10th. Each Greek organization has come up with a challenge that they want to complete in order to raise as much money as possible. A full schedule of these challenges can be found on our Instagram page called LALV COVID Relief.
Donations for our fundraiser can be sent to our Give Butter page, where you have the option to donate using Venmo, PayPal, or a credit card. The link to this site can be found in the bio of the Lafayette COVID Relief Instagram.
This fundraiser is so important because it represents everyone coming together to achieve a common goal that is so much bigger than any one of us. We understand that this is a time of financial hardship for many, so this fundraiser is solely on a give what you can basis.
Please consider donating to help support those in need as we continue to battle this COVID-19 pandemic together.
Any dollar amount, no matter how small, can have a massive impact.
On behalf of the Lafayette Greek-wide Coalition Against COVID-19,
We just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for donating.
Thank you for donating.
Thank you so much for your donation.
I thank you for your donations and support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From Alpha Gamma Delta,
Pi Beta Phi,
From the Brothers of Phi Kappa Psi,
from Chi Phi,
From Delta Tau Delta.
From DG.
Delta Upsilon Fraternity. From Delta Kappa Epsilon.
The Tau chapter of Zeta Psi Fraternity.
Kappa Kappa Gamma.
From Tri Delta.
Thank you from Alpha Phi for donating.
For donating.
For donating.
for donating to the Lafayette COVID Relief Fundraiser.
to the Lafayette COVID Relief Fundraiser.
For donating to the Lafayette COVID Relief Fundraiser.
for donating to Lafayette's COVID Relief Fundraiser.
We appreciate your support and we hope you stay safe.
And we hope you stay safe.
Stay safe.
Excellent. Chelsea, are they still accepting donations?
We will be launching another fundraiser in the spring. We are planning to support again Second Harvest and Family Connection. So when I have that information we're organizing now, I will make sure to get that out.
Well, to the members of our chapter that are listening in there tonight, we should make a donation. Let us know.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, all 3 of you, for keeping us informed of what's going on. I'd like to open it up to any questions that our audience might have that for any of the group. If you want to identify yourself or send a question in, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Amy, I can't see what's
you're
coming
on
in.
mute.
Have me now.
Now, you're good.
Sorry, class of 61. Back in my undergrad days, we did not have the strongest town-gown relationships. And it's wonderful to hear what the students and the school are doing to enhance the relationship between the campus and the community. I was on Buildings and Grounds Committee back in the mid-90s, I think, when we started working on having the buildings down at the foot of College Hill. We reached out to Easton. One of the questions that I get from Lafayette classmates and others is on College Hill. Now, I know that we provide money to Easton to replace the taxes that we on grounds that we take away for the campus use. But what else are we doing on College Hill? We've just taken a full block of the community and taken down homes and what have you. I haven't seen the end result yet, unfortunately, not being able to go up on campus. But what are we doing to enhance the relationship with the immediate community on the top of the hill?
I can take that one. So we do pay taxes to the city. We are actually the largest tax base in the city, providing taxes as a nonprofit institution, but actually out of anywhere, we serve as both the largest employer and largest tax base in the city. Regarding McCartney Street specifically, that is up and running and students are moving in. I actually had a Zoom with the student today and there's a student in there. The diner and the trolley stop will open on April 1st. We just had the town hall, as I mentioned, with the Easton, the neighborhood, the College Hill neighborhood, as well as Easton downtown businesses. We had about 30 people on that. We've had them in person. We also had a Zoom earlier over in the summer just to keep people updated. So from a relationship perspective, we're trying to be more out in front of different conversations by providing updates more, by letting the community know what's happening, even when there's different things happening on campus. For example, when COVID just first happened back in March, I was working with the Village and the College Hill Neighborhood Association, which are two nonprofits. The Village is an aging in place organization, and the College Hill Neighborhood Association is open to everyone on College Hill, and just sharing information with them that they would share in their newsletters or put on Facebook or different social media. So just so that there was consistent messaging going out with the college. So I think from a communication perspective, we've been trying to be much more proactive in keeping the community informed of what we're doing. And then with, when you refer to the McCartney Street, that there are still, it's not that we're totally decreasing the tax base in different areas. There's different taxes based on non-educational, buildings that we're still contributing to. Another thing that we do that's unique is that we've also partnered with the city on grants. So along Cattell Street this summer, and actually right now it's kind of in the design phase and the city's taking the lead, but an RCAP grant that comes through the state. So we partnered with them, submitted the grant, and the college is doing a match. And I think it's like a $1.3 million grant where we then, the city will be doing crosswalks from around McCartney Street down to right about where the College Hill Tavern is. So even the things like that is where we're working with the city, that it's a benefit to both our students from a safety perspective, but then we also know how many residents are coming onto campus, walking around when they can use the library, although not right now, so don't try to use the library. But I'm thinking of creative ways that we can be leveraging what you talked about kind of happened on the Bushkill with providing some college resources as well as leveraging them to bring about some positive change within the neighborhood and the community. Does that help?
Yeah, that's all good. That's what we need to do. I'm pleased.
Other questions?
I just have a comment. Amy, Madeline, my daughter, really enjoyed working with you, and Chelsea also. I have to say, from a parent perspective of, my daughter's a junior now. She's going to be an RA there. And, we really appreciate all that the college has done to help her grow and just to see her develop, and just the interaction she's had in a lot of different opportunities. It's been great. And we also appreciate all of the beautification of College Hill, living close, is nice that we get to enjoy all of that. So thank you all for your work.
Chelsea, to follow up on that, America Reads is one of your programs. How difficult is it to keep that program going with this COVID environment?
You know, I'm actually kind of glad you asked. We have kept America Reads going through the COVID environment, and we've done it through video. So we do videos, we record videos of our students reading books and doing activities. Sometimes are corresponding activities, sometimes they're just independent activities. And we share those out with the teachers in the elementary schools. We also are going to do Literacy Day remotely this year. So Chris Cohen is heading that up. She's our America Reads coordinator. And so we are planning to do Literacy Day remotely, virtually, with our students reading throughout the day, and students can zoom in at any time. Not sure if we'll have the mayor this year like we usually do, but we have been able to keep those programs running, and as well as our tutoring program. So we're still tutoring after school. We actually launched a brand new program in the middle school in the fall. So the program it was actually a partnership with Dyer. So let me just plug that real quickly. So in the spring, the Dyer Center coordinated a social entrepreneurship class in which students were required to create a project. And so a team of students within that class created a educational support program that they had initially intended to launch at the Easton Area Community Center. Because for a variety of reasons, we shifted that to the middle school, the Picasso program at the middle school, which serves kids generally coming from Paxanosa, Cheston, and March, and into the middle school. So it's an after school program. We were able to launch that program and have it run successfully. It's going to start again on February 9th, despite the limitations placed on us by COVID. We had positive responses from the students who were involved in the program on our end and at the middle school end. And so we're super proud that we were able to do that. It was completely student originated, I guess. We just kind of guided and molded it as it grew and facilitated the partnership. And it's been truly visionary. It's a mentorship program that doesn't just rely on mentors, but it also pulls in students from other areas of campus so that the students who are participating on the middle school end get to see as much of campus life as is possible in the limited amount of time that we have to show them. So we're hoping to be able, once we get into a live environment, to expand that program. And like I said, our students have been fabulous, pivoting and dancing and trying to find new ways to stay connected. They have been absolutely fabulous. The creativity and the passion and the ingenuity is really just something that you can't really put words around. So
that's great.
That's a long answer to a short question, but thank you for asking it.
No, that's great, because it is a challenge. Amy, do we have any other questions coming in?
Diane, did you have a question?
How did you know?
I saw you were trying to get in on the conversation. We'd love to hear your question.
Oh, you're so sweet, Amy. Thank you. I'm completely transparent. So I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Diane Haviland. Melissa referred to me for a minute, and thanks for that. I'm an alumni from '87. So Ed, even in 1987, didn't come downtown. So I understand what you were saying. And I wanted to join the call because I live in downtown Easton. I grew up in Phillipsburg. Even though I graduated in ’87, I always joke I was the only graduate with gray hair at that time. So Ed, I was around in '61, Ed, so that's sort of my background. And I really want to reach out and get connected, because one of the things I have retired over 44 years in corporate America. And I want to be able to work, and I have fell in love with Easton, grew up in the town across from Easton, but fell in love with Easton, and have a lot of ideas on how I think we can connect the students to the town. My husband and I are very active. He's on the zoning board. I'm on the historical commission. We have started a not-for-profit called Friends of Easton. And I led, large organizations and trained and mentored people. And I really see there's rich opportunities for us to build a better connection with the students and getting them more involved in the city and the city's business beyond GEDP, which I think is really great. But I have some really great ideas. So not sure who I should talk to about that, but I would love to help facilitate that connection to Easton and make it even greater, because I see Easton more from the inside out now. I used to be a visitor here, and so I'm living here now for 10 years, and I can't even begin to tell you the community. Everyone says, what's it like living in downtown? And I knew there'd be great restaurants and great theater and great festivals. What blew me away is the community, the diversity of the community, the age differences, the generational differences, the racial differences. And it's got a great community that has so much to give. And so I think there's so much that we can do to make that connection even stronger. Loving what Chelsea and is doing, and I love hearing what Yusuf is doing as well. But I think there's other connections we can make. So can you see sucker written across my head? Because I think I just volunteered for something. So thank you for asking.
Well, Diane, you have the right three people that you can contact with your ideas, and I'm sure they'll all be very interested.
Yeah, Diane, I would love to talk to you.
Yippee!
Yeah, email me after and we will set something up.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane, I beat you for time in Easton. I started in Easton in 1939.
You look pretty good, buddy.
I was born in Easton. My hometown is Belvedere. So I've watched Easton certainly as a youth when it was vibrant, and it hurt me to see Oars and some of the other places, even the jewelry store there. Yeah, I mean, Ken asked me to work there at Christmas back in, I think, my senior year. Yeah, and so I've seen it go down, but then I've seen the restaurants and that certainly come in, and that's been a leader, I think, in increasing the vibrancy of the city. So all what you're talking about tonight makes me feel good. I live down in Westchester. I doubt that I can get involved in any committee, but I have been involved on campus many years. So if there's some way to get involved there that fits my small skill package, I'd be
Wonderful. And by the way, I lived in Belvedere for 25 years too, Ed. We may be related. I don't know.
I had nothing to do with it, Diane. I swear I had nothing. What street?
I lived on Mountain Lake Road.
Oh, okay. I lived right at the park there.
Okay.
Where Paul Arrow had a home.
Yep.
That was our place.
Yeah. Wow. Well, great to meet you.
Yep. Even at a distance. I'll see you on campus.
And so thank you. I'll be in touch.
Any other questions from the audience? Do you see any coming in, Amy? No.
I don't. I do want to point out, Diane, if you didn't see, Chelsea put her email address in the chat for you.
All right.
I don't see any additional questions coming in through the chat, but certainly folks should feel comfortable to come off mic as well. We're a small enough group tonight.
Let me mention one thing. Just think of it now. I'm involved and have been involved in the International Center there. I would suggest this: try to get as much as you can, get international students involved. I've worked overseas in a number of countries. America is an amazing place for volunteerism. I don't see that in anywhere to that degree in places I've been. So if you get them involved, just to show them what volunteerism means within the community, I think that's a value and something if they go back to their own country, they could take with them.
Well, Amy, that's the end of the questions?
I think so, John.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank Yusuf and Chelsea and Melissa for taking the time to be with us tonight. Very enlightening, and I hope we establish some contacts maybe with some of our audience along with your organizations, and wish you the best of luck at getting through these this next semester is going to be tough for everybody. It's already started out tough, so we wish you well. And thanks to the audience for participating tonight. And Amy, any advertisements for future programming?
Keep an eye on Leopard Link as additional programs come out. We have got, certainly there are things coming out in the spring. There will be some Wine 39 events, as well as the Council of Lafayette Women will have a number of programs in March. So those are all forthcoming. And many, many thanks to the Lafayette Alumni of the Lehigh Valley for hosting this event tonight. So thank you, John.
All right.
And
So John, before we go, just so I can make a plug, the Dyer Center has 2 events coming up, and I'm sure Amy will distribute these in the alumni communications. But on March 4th at 5 o'clock, we have our 3rd annual real estate case competition. This is where Lafayette students assess the feasibility of a actual Lafayette development. So last year they looked at the March Street expansion. This year, they're assessing whether or not it's practical for the college to enter into a partnership with Metzger Fields and build a sports complex that would be owned by a partner, open to the community, and generate revenue for the college. It's a great competition. I'd encourage folks to join if they're interested. And then our most popular event of the year is Thursday, April 29th. It's our Big Idea Pitch Competition. Students compete for up to $5,000 in cash prizes for an idea that they've developed and they've been working on over their time at Lafayette. And that's always a fan favorite. Alumni get to vote on the audience's favorite pitch. So in addition to the monies that are allocated by the judges, the audience actually gets to select their favorite pitch. So hopefully you guys can join us.
They both sound like great events and very interesting. I'd like to. All right.
Thank you, Yusuf. We'll make sure that information goes out to our alumni community as we have that to share. But thank you all very much, and have a great night.
All right. Thank you.
Good job.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
job.
Thank you.